know, really, I don't remember much about that right to vote, except there was an awful lot. And I'm going to use the word that probably Nancy would, and maybe you would, hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About this propaganda nowadays of being able to vote. If you were against it, you weren't thought much of. You have the same thing today. You've got a whole bunch of people that want one thing and you have the other bunch that want the other. The only difference being in today you have things that you can do and make a big fuss. In those days you just had some man that was a good talker. He'd go around and make speeches at different places, different things would, like the Masonic Lodge would sponsor him to go someplace and speak. And the village would pay to have him go someplace and speak. It's propaganda as far as I can, that's not the word to use, but it describes it.
Do you remember?
Do I remember the first one I voted for? No, I don't.
No.
Politics never interested me.
Why? Do you know why?
To me, one was right and one was wrong, and I didn't know which was, and there was things that, and I feel the same way today. A good share of the people that vote, that's the thing to do, is vote.
And they do what their peers want to do.
If you know anything about the party that's being voted for, or the subject that is being put on the ballot, then I think you do, but I never could. Of course, the two sides were very bitter when we had that first, just like you kids wanted something and you didn't know which one was going to get it, you'd be mad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the way I think the people were then. But I was at the age where it didn't impress me a great deal.
Okay.
And you've always been one, the negativity, you pulled yourself away from it. You didn't get involved in negativity.
I am embarrassed to have to say I don't hear, but that's it.
No, but I mean, you never, as a person, you never got involved in negative things, bad things.
Not
if it made you upset, whether it's politics or a neighbor or whatever, you just backed away.
Things that we were involved in,
okay.
But not politics. For me, I never had. It didn't interest me.
All right.
I don't know. Wilson made an awful splash in the pan, but at my age, when politics was like that, we didn't pay so much for it. There wasn't any newspapers to speak of, and
so how would you hear about the politics?
Well, you heard about them. There was a paper delivered during the week. At night, it came up on the 6 o'clock flyer.
Okay.
And you got your paper. And people did go about, there was a lot of campaigners those days. And it was more or less was in your little town, it wasn't out. And
So why were you inspired by Wilson?
I don't know, I just thought he was a good man, he seemed to be. And of course Roosevelt.
Yeah.
But to me, the Roosevelts they were all right, but there was so many of them, and well, when you say that, that is a question that's hard to answer. If you were my age and you look back, would you want to go without electricity?
No.
Good question.
Would you want to go without hot dogs?
No.
So you see, we didn't have those things. I can remember when hot dogs and bologna first came in on the market, and my dad refused to let my mother buy that crap, he called it. It was just no good to me, and he worked in the meat department.
Oh.
So he knew a little bit about what went on behind the scenes.
How it was made.
And then we used to take turns of having a party on Friday night. Everybody just gets somebody's house and you'd play some game or something. And it was my turn, and I said, and of course they all had hot dogs. And I said to my mother, what can I do, Mom? They all have hot dogs to the party. Well, she said, we'll take care of that. So I can remember her saying, that is what's going on, just like, and she mentioned something that when she and my dad were younger, that thing people did that wouldn't do then, it was terrible. So I can remember him saying, well, go ahead and have your poison food if you want to. So we had hot dogs in my house.
Nice. That was your first encounter with hot dogs, huh? All right.
You wouldn't eat any cold meats. Depends on what you wanted to do.
Interesting.
You might be happy doing what I wanted to do. It's like that now too. You're happy to be one thing and somebody else the other. Oh, I think that's something it's not new. It's that way from the beginning to end.
Okay.
I think we all, from the time we were tree living.
Right.
That I want that limb.
Yeah.
And that I don't know about that. We didn't pay so much attention then. We had a little bit we didn't have like they have now. And we just took it as it come. That I don't know.
Okay.
As far as I know, when I was growing up, I can't remember anything that was so terrible. There were people who were that way, but there's people like that now. You live across the street and you're just dirty mean to your kids. Across the street, they're good though. It's the same thing right now.
All right, like as a mother in this world, I feel like...
Well, the mothers did not work.
Yeah.
They were home.
I mean, I feel like as a mother, I work part-time, have 3 kids, that I'm constantly going, moving, doing. Do you think moms back then were the same way?
It wasn't there to do.
And
It
they
wasn't
weren't.
that much.
You didn't have all the activities to do.
No, we did not.
So do you think it's better for the kids to have less activities in the
I
families?
think you've got to take that according to where you are, how you're, I don't want to say, well, I mean what you're used to. I mean, you were used to having something all the time. It was, and I don't think that I think it was like it is now. Everybody wants what everybody else has got,
Yeah.
but they have a different way of going at it to get it.
Yeah. And it's not always good, is it?